Hey everyone, this is Kelly. Welcome back to the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel. Today I am making a celebration birthday card using the Message in a Bottle stamp and die set. The first thing I'm going to do to make my little bottle is smooth on some Distress Oxide ink in cracked pistachio just over a small piece of paper. I'm not trying to get a perfect blend or perfect coverage there because that is just going to be the bottle for my card. I'm going to use my Mini Misty and set the little bottle stamp there, and I'm going to ink that up in the same cracked pistachio ink. I wanted the bottle or the outline to be the same color, maybe a little darker than the inside of the bottle. So I just used the same color ink. I didn't want it to be a harsh line and use black or anything dark like that. I'm going to use the coordinating dies and run that through my die machine. And then I'm going to get the paper ready to add the little sprays for if this was a champagne bottle. So I'm going to take a pencil and just outline the top of the bottle there and then mark where the opening is or where the actual spray of the champagne would come out. So I've got that all marked, and I'm going to use the Distress Oxide ink in Worn Lipstick, and I'm taking a stamp from the Celebration box stamp set. This looks kind of like I don't know, you could use it as a ray of sun, you could use it as I am here as something kind of spraying out, but it looks like you have a line there and then some bubbles or sparkles there at the end. And so at first I'm going to ink this up with full strength ink right off the ink pad, and then I'm going to stamp it off and use a second generation stamp to get some variation in color. And I'm just going to fill that in all over as if that bottle or that champagne was spraying out of the bottle. Here in just a second I'm going to add the bottle over the top to make sure that I have good coverage and I like the way that that's looking. And then I'm going to move on with some bubbles. Now I'm using the stencil from the brand new Honeybee release, and this is called the Underwater Scene stencil, and it has some awesome sets of bubbles. So this was perfect to add the little bubbles coming down from that spray of champagne. And so I'm using the same ink, that Worn Lipstick Distress Oxide, and I'm using an ink blender and just kind of pouncing that sponge over the holes for the bubbles. I added some foam tape to cover the back of that, added the bottle on there and just clipped off the sides, as you can see, and I've added that on to some glitter paper. The glitter paper is a rose gold color, which looks super awesome in real life with that Worn Lipstick Distress Oxide ink. I'm going to get my Celebrate die, which I've cut from the same shade of rose gold glitter paper. I'm going to get that lined up and adhere that down with a little bit of Nuvo liquid adhesive. And I kind of got over the top of it so I could make sure everything was lined up just the way I wanted it. And then last but not least, for the front of the card here, I'm going to take the same Nuvo liquid adhesive and I'm going to add some of the brand new Honeybee Stamps Wedding Ring Rhinestones. These are flat backed embellishments that are super easy to add to your cards with a little bit of liquid adhesive, and I love them because they stay put in the mail. For the inside of the card, I'm going to add It's Your Birthday. I'm lining that up in my Mini Misty and using my bone folder to move it around so it doesn't stick to my fingers. I'm going to ink that in the same Worn Lipstick ink and stamp that down. And then inside the Celebration box stamp set, there are some extra little bubble stamps. I'm going to add those on, and I'm just trying to see if that would work there. I'm going to stamp those in Worn Lipstick again. And I'm just going to kind of randomly line those up and stamp them over the ends. I do add a few more of those little flat bottom diamonds into the inside of the card. I use the Nuvo liquid adhesive for that, and it just takes just a tiny little dot of that adhesive, and then everything will stick just fine. I like to use my tweezers to add small little embellishments like this. That way they don't stick to your fingers, and it's easier to make sure you get the flat side down into your adhesive there. Sorry, my head's kind of in the way there. I'm going to pull that out and give you a look, and I love all the sparkle from those little diamonds and the inside of the card. Here's a look at the finished card in that beautiful rose gold glitter paper. All the supplies can be found at honeybeestamps.com, and I'll have listed in the description box. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe. Talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.